All right. Good morning and welcome. I'm Mary Leslie, President of the Los Angeles Business Council, and I'm very pleased to join the LA Sports and Entertainment Commission and the NFL in this important webinar today to discuss the NFL Supplier Diversity Program. This is in anticipation of our Super Bowl 56, which will be hosted here in the LA region in 2022 at our beautiful new SoFi Stadium. This is an exciting opportunity for LA diverse and experienced LA companies to participate. We are encouraged to see over 200 of you registered participants today to join us. There will be several other ways for you to record this webinar and post it, which will be on our website. You can share it with your friends and you can review it again. I also encourage you as participants to submit your questions using your Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. We will try to get as many questions as time permits after the presentations. We are honored today to be joined by Kathy Schlossman, President and CEO of the LA Sports and Entertainment Commission, BJ Waymer, NFL Business Connect Lead, and Chincy Mouton, Director of Business Connect, to learn who, how, and when to apply for this exciting new program. The NFL Business Connect program is designed for minority-owned, women-owned, and veteran-owned LGBTQ plus owned businesses right here in LA, and as a platform for professional development and networking opportunities with an important deadline for everyone to note of February 1st, which the team will talk about. We commend the NFL Business Connect program for targeting local diverse suppliers. As many of you know, the LABC has spearheaded a supplier diversity effort now in progress in the city of LA, which includes updating the city's current procurement system, expanding its reach to include both public and private contracting opportunities on a regional scale, and the development of a sustained marketing and outreach effort, making it easier for LA businesses to benefit from large contracting opportunities, including major sporting, entertainment, and cultural events. The first phase of the city's new system will roll out in January of 2021, so stay tuned. Today, we want to thank our membership for joining the webinar, and we want to encourage our certified WEBE, MEBE, veteran-owned, and LGBTQ plus members to apply to this program. And for our prime contractors, we ask that you share this excellent opportunity with your own deserving certified suppliers. Now it is my pleasure to welcome Kathy Schlossman, the President and CEO of the LA Sports and Entertainment Commission. Under Kathy's leadership, she has secured an impressive array of premier sporting events for the region, including the 2021 MLS All-Star Game, the 2022 Super Bowl, the 2022 MLB All-Star Game, the 2023 College Football Playoff National Championship, the 123rd U.S. Open Championship, the 2024 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball West Region Championship, and she continues to support the local organizing committee for the 2028 Olympics and Paralympic Games. Kathy has come to the commission after more than a decade in business development in downtown LA at CBRE. We enjoy working with her and the commission over the last several years. We have supported many of her efforts to successfully bid for these high-profile events, which are important to the economic health of the city, bringing new investment and jobs. We also agree with her that supplier diversity outreach is key to that impact, where each new event is an opportunity to engage local businesses. Efforts like the NFL Business Connect are models of the type of focused outreach we want to encourage and emulate in the city of LA, and we support these initiatives by the Sports and Entertainment Commission, the Super Bowl Host Committee, and the NFL Business Connect. So with that, I want to thank you, Kathy, for everything you do, and we're looking forward to your sharing your new program with us today.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for the time, and thank you for all you and your team do. You guys have been working very hard on this for a long time, and the city is very lucky to have you, and we really appreciate your efforts. So thank you for everything you do for all the businesses in Los Angeles. So thanks for the opportunity to talk to you all today. We are so excited to kick off this program with you today. But before we do and get into the details, I want to give you a little bit of background on our organization and the Super Bowl Host Committee. The Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission is the official organization for the city of Los Angeles to bid on and secure high-profile and sporting and entertainment events. In addition to bidding on these events, our organization is also responsible for fulfilling all the bid requirements for the Super Bowl, since we manage the Super Bowl host committee. Our Super Bowl host committee is led and chaired by Casey Wasserman, the same man who's also responsible for bringing the 2028 Olympics. So he chairs on the front end the 2022 Super Bowl and the back end the 2028 Olympics, which are going to lead our whole decade of opportunity we have coming. We also have on our Super Bowl host committee our partners, the Los Angeles Rams and SoFi Stadium. So the host committee is responsible for helping plan, organize, and support activities which enhance the Super Bowl experience for our city. And Mary already mentioned all the events. I won't go over them again, but we have an incredible decade of major events coming. And what a great time coming out of COVID to have these events, because we feel like these events are going to be the catalyst to jump-starting business in our city and bringing opportunities to you. One event she didn't mention, which we also hope to add because we don't have it secured yet, is the World Cup in 2026. But all of these events are very important because they bring economic impact, they bring social and community impact, and they bring media visibility to our city as a tourism destination. These events were really important before COVID hit, but now with our tourism and our hospitality industry hit so hard, job force recovery and workforce development are top of mind for everyone. Success for us and for our organization, for our city, is not just winning these bids and hosting these events. Success is making sure that these events make an impact leading up to the event, during the event, and most importantly, they need to leave a legacy in our city after the event. Our host committee wants to use the incredible spotlight that the Super Bowl brings to create opportunities for you, local businesses and individuals. We want to start with the NFL Business Connect program, since this is a successful program, established program, long history, and a great infrastructure in place. This Business Connect program is a big priority for us, and we wanted to make sure you knew about it and all the other exciting events and opportunities that we're bringing to LA. So now let me introduce you to the woman who started this all. She was the first director of community relations for the Carolina Panthers. She's been a tremendous leader with the NFL and a tremendous advocate for diverse businesses. Please welcome the head of Business Connect for the NFL, BJ Waymer.
Thank you very much, Kathy. And welcome, everyone. We are so excited about bringing Super Bowl 56 to Los Angeles. I have been asked, and it is my honor to introduce the overall scope of the Business Connect program to you. And then I'm going to pass the baton over to the woman who will lead the efforts for you and work directly with you in Los Angeles. Rachel, if you could throw up my first slide for me, please. And the next one. Perfect, thank you. Let me start off by telling you a little bit about Super Bowl 56 and Business Connect. We are the NFL Supplier Diversity Program for the National Football League and for Super Bowl. We are the organization that will work to build a bridge between NFL vendors and the suppliers on the ground in Los Angeles. We work with those NFL vendors to determine what their scope of work is and to dig down into that scope of work to figure out where are the contract opportunities for local diverse businesses. Our second task in LA is really to identify and vet local diverse suppliers that have the capacity to help us fulfill those contracts. As you know, we have one shot at Super Bowl to set an example for what a perfect event is supposed to look like. And so we are going to be vetting for experience, for capability, and for the best available suppliers in your marketplace. And our third task in Los Angeles is to host workshops and networking events that help to enhance the professional standing of all of the businesses who are members in Business Connect. We will have workshops that help with skill sets things like using social media to your best advantage, working with, oh, I just lost that thought, so I'll move on from there. But the thought is that these professional development workshops will help to enhance your business, to grow your business, and to help you be more event ready for the events that come after Super Bowl. In terms of criteria, everyone who participates in Business Connect must have a business that is 51% diverse owned. You must have an established office in Los Angeles. You must have 3 years of business in Los Angeles County. Your products and services must be those products and services that are requested by the NFL for Super Bowl, and you must be the direct source of all of those businesses. So if you are applying to be a Porta-John supplier for business for Super Bowl, you must be the person who owns that business. You can't turn to a fellow business and say, as a diverse vendor, I'm going into this program. Will you partner with me and let us use your resources? That's not how it works. We are trying to make sure that we create opportunities for women, minority, LGBTQ+, and veteran-owned businesses that are local and diverse to Los Angeles. We also ask that the businesses are certified. If you are not certified, don't let that stop you from applying, because we will make sure that we will connect you with one of our partner agencies that will walk you through the certifying process for free. So it will cost you nothing to participate in Business Connect. It will cost you nothing to get certified in order to become eligible. Can I get the next slide, please? Rachel, next slide, please. Because we want to talk a little bit about the business disciplines. Thank you so much. As you will see, this list of businesses that we're looking for are all special event production businesses. These businesses are general categories. You may think about what you do and look at this list and say, oh, I may fit in there. If you do, we'll give you contact information. If you have a question about whether or not your company fits into the categories that we have listed, we ask that you shoot an email to Chincy Mouton at the LA SEC, and she will talk through that with you to make sure that you're eligible. Some of these categories are pretty wide. If you look at catering, food, and beverage for the Super Bowl, that could be anything from a crew feed, which would be, 15 to 2,000 people who need a hot lunch or a hot dinner. It could be a grab and go breakfast for volunteers. It could be setting up food in a green room. So there's lots of opportunity under many, many of these categories. And so check that list carefully. And as you go through the application process, make sure you do pick the category that fits your business line. All right, if we could have the next slide. We want to talk to you a little bit about working with NFL vendors. Rachel, next slide, please. Well, I can tell you that when we're talking about working with NFL vendors, the first and most important thing for everyone on this call to understand is that NFL vendors are primed to work with you. They understand that it is a requisite of the NFL that we always review and give opportunity to local diverse businesses. And so we will put together for them a Business Connect resource guide that contains all of the contact information for all of the businesses accepted into the Business Connect program. One of the important things that you'll want to share with us is the cell phone number that you would like us to use. We ask for a cell phone number, and we ask that you put it on everything, your website, your business cards, every communication that you send to us. And we do that because oftentimes when our NFL vendors are sitting in an airport, moving from city to city on an event, they'll think, oh, 7 o'clock at night on a Thursday, great time to make some supplier calls. And if they call you, you don't want that call, which is important, to sit in your email box or your in your call log, and you not get an opportunity to respond. So put your cell phone number on everything. Another important point working with NFL vendors is to know your business capabilities. You know, don't let the shield frighten you. Yes, Super Bowl is a huge event, but we break every event into manageable pieces so that there are opportunities for businesses of all sizes. And the other thing that's important to know is that NFL vendors, when they are looking for suppliers to work with, they may want to put you together with someone who has more capacity than you, and it creates a learning experience for you. So don't be afraid to apply. Don't think that Super Bowl is too big for you, because it is not. There is a place for local diverse suppliers, and we are prepared and we are in position to make this a successful effort for you and for us. We do ask that you bid fairly. All of the NFL vendors who participate in Super Bowl have worked in LA either on a previous Super Bowl or a previous event. We understand clearly what the prices are in Los Angeles and in Los Angeles County, and it is important that you bid fairly because it is a competitive program. Now, do not interpret that to mean that you have to underbid. Don't do that. You need to make a profit, but it needs to be reasonable, it needs to be fair, and it needs to be market-based. We do want to work with you closely in the Business Connect program. That's why this fourth bullet is on there. Let us help you position your company for success. Part of that is about us getting to know you and to know your capabilities and being able to serve as an advocate for you. Another part of it is making sure that you are working with us closely, that you participate in the workshops and the networking pieces that we will offer to your market, because that is one of the ways we get to know you. You know, the joke at Business Connect is we believe in full participation. You know, if you attend our workshops, if you attend our networking events, if when we make calls, you return our calls or our emails, when we have an opportunity to work face to face again in your market, you know, that if you're at an event with us, that you take the time to come up and introduce yourself. Because the more we know about you, the better of an advocate we could be to work with our NFL vendors and make sure that we can then go to them and say, but did you know we have a supplier that can do this or that or something else? So work with us on that and get to know us so that we can get to know you. Another thing that's important to us is that you under promise and over deliver. You know, when we get into the procurement process of Super Bowl, there are a lot of pieces that go into making an event successful. Understand what your role will be within that event and commit to what you know you can do. And then if you can add something, have added value through your services to that event, discuss that with the NFL vendor that's hired you. But don't over deliver or don't over promise and say you can do something that you're not sure about. You know, commit to what you know how to do, and then let us work with you to see what else it is that can add value to the event. All righty, next slide, if we could. Thank you. There are several people on the NFL Business Connect team and the LA Business Connect team who will be working as your advocates. Allison DeGroot is our direct contact with NFL events, so she is an important person on our team. David Waymer is our supplier advocate, and he is also our specialist in helping us to identify exactly which businesses are perfect for which events. Chinsi Mouton is going to be your best friend. She is the Business Connect lead for Los Angeles. She will be the advocate that is the direct conduit between the Los Angeles market and our NFL vendors. And it is my pleasure to be able to introduce her next. Chinsi has 8 years of big sports experience. She's worked with the NCAA, she's worked with the Final Four. She's got an extensive background in community outreach. And for us personally, I think the thing that we're most excited about is that Chinsi was our Atlanta liaison with the host committee. So she worked directly with Business Connect. She led Business Connect in Atlanta. And the important thing for you to know about that is from the experience we got working with Chinsi in Atlanta, we understand the relationship that she builds with local diverse suppliers. She will ferret out every opportunity available. She will work closely with you to make sure that if your business aligns with an opportunity, that the connection is made. And she will be your primary advocate. So with that, I'm going to stop talking because I could talk forever, but I want to introduce you to our friend and your new lead for the LA Sports Commission's Business Connect program, Chinsi Mouton.
Thank you, VJ, and hello, everyone. Happy to be with you. So really, this portion of the program is to talk about the supplier application process. Next slide. So really, the first step is to go to our website, lasec.net/businessconnect. From there, you will see our primary objectives and get a good sense of our program. You can also visit our FAQ section because it answers a lot of the common questions that the NFL has received from market to market. And once you've reviewed our website, then you can click on the application button to really get started with the supplier application. So the next step is to read and acknowledge the supplier application and registration process. So all applications received will be vetted by the NFL and by the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. We will select 250 businesses to participate in the program. All businesses that apply for the program will be notified of our decision by February 15th. So whether you're accepted or not accepted, you will receive an email from us. Those that are accepted into the program will then receive a registration link for them to send us their profile and also their company logo so that we can include it in the Business Connect resource guide. So the resource guide is essentially the directory that is used, that the NFL uses to identify local suppliers when they're subcontracting work. So once you've read that and acknowledged that, you would check that box to get started on the general overview portion. So in the general overview, we pretty much ask for basic company information, your legal company name, who you're doing business as, your primary contact information, your email, and then also we ask for your company address. Again, we're looking for businesses that are located in Los Angeles County. And so we really want to make sure that your business address matches that, and so that we can verify that you are indeed local. We also ask for your business phone number and your cell phone number because we like to contact you guys directly if we have any questions and really get to know you. We also ask for your company website and a company profile. So the company profile is around 4 to 5 sentences that really outlines your experience. How does your experience relate to large scale events, or how does it relate to sports in itself? So really take that time to don't just breeze over the company profile, really give us a good description because that helps us in our vetting process. We will also go to your website, and then we'll also go to your social media accounts to see how your digital presence is. So please be sure to stay updated and make sure that those things are intact because we are checking that during our verification. Also, another part of the application is to list your ethnicity or the ethnicity of the 51% owner of the company. We also ask that you list your classification. So you can check all that applies. So that means if you are a minority woman, you would click minority business enterprise and woman business enterprise. You would also, if you're a small business enterprise, you can also check that as well. So don't feel like you're limited to just one box. Please check all boxes that apply for your business. We also ask that you acknowledge the eligibility requirements and then upload your proof of business certification. So you could see here, you could check which business, which certification agency provided your business certification. If, again, as BJ mentioned, if you're not already certified, but you're in the process, let us know, send us an email and we'll work with you. If you are certified with a national organization or a local government entity that is not listed there on the application, you can just click the other button and then list what agency provided your certification. You can also upload your certification on the application itself, or you can email it to me at businessconnect@lasec.us. Next, we ask that you list your respective business discipline. So this is where you have a drop-down option. So those are the 30 different business disciplines that BJ listed earlier. So really, audiovisual is the first thing that pops up, but be sure to click on the discipline that really relates to your business. I feel like a lot of times businesses skip that question. So be sure that you actually list your business category. We also want you to provide 3 client references. These can be clients that you've worked with in the past or a current client. We just ask that they know a lot about you and your business. Make sure that this is someone that you trust and that can speak highly about your services and your products, because we will contact references as part of our vetting process. And then next, we want to know how you heard about us. Was it through the radio, a local chamber, or was it the Los Angeles Business Council? So let us know that, and then also acknowledge the Business Connect disclosure. So again, being a part of the Business Connect does not guarantee that you are awarded a contract, but it does guarantee that you will receive professional development opportunities, networking opportunities, and opportunities to bid on contracts. And so once you read that, acknowledge that, make sure that all the information that you've submitted is correct, and then you can hit the submit button. So this next slide pretty much covers our key dates. We launched the program in October, and applications will close on February 1st. So we encourage you to apply now. If you already are certified, you have your paperwork together, the application process takes no more than 12-15 minutes. So please go ahead and apply now because we are in the vetting process as we speak. Again, businesses will be notified of the final decision by February 15th, 2021. And then lastly, our contact information. You can access the supplier application and all the general information about the program on www.lasec.net/businessconnect. You can also email any questions to me at businessconnect@lasec.us. And at this time, I'd like to invite Mary Leslie back to the stage. I shouldn't call it the stage, but back to our presentation so that we can go over the Q&A segment.
It's our virtual stage. Okay, that was a terrific presentation and it was very thorough, but there's a whole bunch of questions. So let's start. Starting with the question of, do you know approximately how many contracts are being awarded?
BJ, you want to take that one?
Sure. We won't know the number of contracts that are going to be awarded until we actually get into the market, design what Super Bowl will look and feel like once we get to LA. Every Super Bowl is customized to a local market. So we'll figure that out when we get to town and keep you guys posted as opportunities become available.
Perfect. And then sort of a follow-up to that is, what is the average range of a contract size?
Really, it could be anything from $1,500 worth of flowers from a florist who does something for a dinner to, we've had $1 million contracts for the perimeter, setting up the perimeter barriers for our events. So it really is a matter of what business line you're in, what event you're providing services for, and whether or not, you know, that is a big event or a small event.
Right. No, that makes sense. And then, can a single local certified supplier or general contractor apply for more than one contract or more than one category?
So I would say when you're filling out your application, you can only list one business discipline, but in the company profile, that is where you list all of your different services and products, right? Because you have the opportunity to list 4 to 5 sentences that really gives a detailed description of your company. So we can also recommend you to NFL vendors based off of your different services and products. But when you're filling out the application, because we list you in one place in the directory, we ask that you only list one discipline.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now this is relevant to our COVID world, but probably not relevant to prior Super Bowls. From a disinfection services provider, in regards to a business needing to operate in LA since 2018, has the pandemic simply did not exist back then? Will this service be one that will be included in a 2022 event?
Chincy, I'll take that one if you don't mind. To be very honest with you, I think that PPE services are going to be needed probably for the next 10 years, if not forever. You know, we have a new consciousness now about how viruses are spread and how socialization is mixed into events. And I think we will always be cautious. But yes, for 2022, I am almost confident that there will be a level of PPE services that are going to be needed for sure.
Okay, so that's perfect, because if there is a resource or link that can be used for companies who don't fit the specific requirements that you've outlined, should you can use this form, Chincy, if you didn't actually list it as an area?
So PPE is listed as a business discipline. We also have waste removal. So we're seeing a lot of our janitorial and cleaning services listed there. So it is a discipline, it is a need. So they can click either PPE or waste removal.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, is there a role for a sole proprietor in IT, security, audio to join a larger team of IT professionals to provide hands-on support? Do you team people with larger contractors?
I'm not going to speak specifically to those areas, but in general, everybody is working with someone, because there is always the NFL vendor and their staff that is overseeing every one of the disciplines that we bring into a Super Bowl contract. I will say that for IT specifically, we do have a need for workforce to pull cable. And, you know, if you have a question about whether or not what you do fits the needs of the Business Connect program, that is your chance to reach out to Chincy to make sure you send her an email, define what your business line is, and she'll be able to help you make that call on whether or not there are opportunities for your business within Business Connect.
Okay, so that's a really good point. Often you're going to be teamed with the NFL official vendor.
Yes.
Okay.
At all times.
At all. Okay. Now this is a question. I'm an out-of-state supplier, but have been registered to do business in LA for 2 years. Will I be able to participate?
So you need to have been in business for 3 years, and really we're asking that you have a physical presence in LA. So if you're out of state, this is a local supplier diversity program. We're really trying to, give business to businesses that are here locally. So if you're out of state, but you have a presence, what does that presence look like? Do you have an office? Do you have staff? Are you truly located here? That's what we want to know.
Right, because you want businesses who have been in business at least 3 years.
At least 3 years.
And they have to have an office here. Now, subsequent question is, does the company need to be headquartered in LA, or is it good enough if they just have an office that's been here for 3 years?
If you have an office here and you have staff, it's not a satellite office that,
Right.
Is just an address. We're looking to see if you truly have a presence here.
So it's not a post office box number, okay? It's
Right.
actually an office you can visit with people. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
and I might mention, Mary, that 3 years is not arbitrary. What we have found over the course of running the Business Connect program is having been in business 3 years, you've had an opportunity to make your mistakes and figure out how to fix them, because that's what we need. We need business suppliers who, if they come up against something during their contract at Super Bowl that maybe they have seen before, they see, oh yeah, well, if we do it this way, that's not going to work. So that we can rely on them for their expertise in what their business line is. We can't make mistakes at Super Bowl. We can't have unasked questions at Super Bowl. While we create opportunity for you to work with our NFL vendors, it's not on the job training. It is really event ready companies that we're looking for. And 3 years typically gives you the amount of experience that we need.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think that falls on the heels of another question, fortunately. Can a minority-owned company use their regular subcontractors if they are not a minority owner?
Yes.
Yes.
But if you are not the sole provider of the services, then that is going to be problematic. We know that you may bid on something and they say, okay, well, we want you to do X, Y, or Z. And you need to buy product from somebody in order to turn around what you've committed to doing. Yeah, everybody has suppliers that they work with, but not for the full contract. You can't go get your 35 Porta-Johns from somebody else and run them under your company that does another business line.
Got it. It has to be your primary business.
Correct.
And can you co-bid with another company? Can you come in as a team?
That is possible if
Okay.
both businesses are in Business Connect. And it really does lead me to just, if I could take a second to explain the NFL procurement process.
Please, yeah.
We are not like some other companies that folks might have applied to. We don't put out a list of all of the contracts that are available. It is a vendor-led procurement system. So we work, the Business Connect team will work to put together a Business Connect resource guide of 250 businesses that we turn over to our vendors and say, these are 250 businesses that meet the 30 business lines that you guys ask us for. They are event ready. They will participate in all of our workshops, and we are standing behind these companies. And then our vendors use that resource guide and they call Chintzy or David or myself for recommendations. If there's 5 janitorial services and, they'll call us and say, can you recommend for this particular event, which janitorial service do you recommend? So they could either pick it out of the resource guide themselves, they'll call us for a recommendation. There are various ways that they utilize the Business Connect resource guide.
Okay, so that's really helpful, because I think then you're really clarifying that you're creating a pool of eligible small businesses that you have vetted, chosen, worked with, mentored, right? Who are now going to compete, for what primary contractors of the NFL are responsible for doing. And
yes, really doing the homework of the vendors, so they don't have to come into your market and start searching for suppliers.
Yeah.
We do that homework for them, give them the resource guide, and they use that as a tool to help them complete their procurement for their events.
Well, that's a real legacy then, because then potentially, Chinzy, the Commission for Sports and Entertainment would always have that list, right?
Absolutely.
So you would be growing businesses for any event then, potentially, for now
So
or into the
part of
future.
what we do too with our professional development workshops and our programming is that we also bring in local procurement partners, right? So they're always a part of that, so that we have that relationship building factor, because we know that the Super Bowl does have an end date, right? But there's still a lot of events coming down the pipeline here in Los Angeles. And there's also other opportunities out there. So we make sure that we really bring those relationships to you as part of our networking and our programming.
Yeah, so this is really enriching for our community, because you're showing us, how to do it. We have versions of this in our metro program, in our city procurement system, in our county, at our airport, et cetera. But I love that this is a private sector, basically, program that's helping, mentor and enrich and prepare companies to be competitive for national opportunities. This is really a national, international event, right?
Yes.
Does if you become a vendor, if you're a small business, you become a vendor for this project, does this now become kind of a prestige item for you, a brand for your company? What's your experience later? Does this?
Well,
yeah.
I'll mention 2 things. One is, we do think it's prestigious, because we've had, our friends at the NBA who ask for our list, or we've had our friends at another, at the Final Four ask for our list. And, what they say is, if you can work for the Super Bowl, you can work for us.
Yeah.
It's like a good housekeeping seal of approval.
Yeah.
And it is the legacy of the Business Connect program, is the work that we do to make sure that there are continued contract opportunities for all of the businesses we bring into the program. In any market, we would make sure that the mayor's office of DE&I get this list, that the NFL teams in the market get this list. We share with the Final Four and like we'd send it to the Rose Bowl. We'd make sure that SoFi Stadium has it. Anyone who hires special event production businesses, we will do our homework and make sure that this list is gifted to all of those agencies. But I'm telling you, the LASEC is going to be the hot spot, and Chinzy is there. Chinzy has the list. If you have a relationship with her, that all of those events that you listed and that were on that slide that Kathy showed, you're in line for all of those.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, and that we love that. That's your gift that keeps giving for LA. But okay. So then you raise a good question. If you don't make it onto the list at 250, but you really were competitive, what do you do? Because I'm getting a question. Is there a link or a resource of where you can be referred to others or other primes? I mean, how do you handle people who don't make the list, I guess, is the questions being asked.
That's always really difficult, because, no event, not Super Bowl, not the Olympics, not any event is going to have a contract opportunity for everyone who wants one, you know, and so we know that for us, for Super Bowl in LA, the size of our event, if we have 250 contractors in our resource guide, we will be able to service the NFL vendors well. For those businesses that we just can't bring into the program, we're talking now with Kathy and Chintzy and others, trying to determine, is there something that we can do in terms of making our workshop videos available or sending out tips, you know, that we learned throughout the process about procurement in LA. We haven't figured out what the right answer for that is yet. But I mean, that's on the to-do list.
Yeah, that's a good to-do list, because you're really creating a library of, you know, of information that will be extremely valuable for people for this project or any other project. So then another question is, if by the time the Super Bowl comes around in 2022, you'll have been in business for 3 years, then are you eligible? Or is there a time certain that you have to be eligible by, which I think gets to your application deadline? Chintzy, how?
Yeah, so businesses do need to have been in business for at least 3 years by the time you apply for the program. You know, the Super Bowl is in 2022, and so after the Super Bowl, it's, you know, we have to create an evergreen program. But for this particular segment for the NFL and Business Connect, you know, you do need to be in business for 3 years when you submit your application.
And the application needs to be submitted by when?
February 1st, 2021.
Yeah, so it's coming right up.
Yeah,
right around the corner.
Yeah, and I would caution folks, you know, don't wait till February 1st. You know, we have an opportunity right now to really take a good hard look at everybody. You know, we're not up against a timeline. So give us the time to really vet you properly, to look at you, to give you the best case scenario for the time and attention you need to communicate what you can do to us. You know, on February 1st, if we get flooded with 500 applications, we're going to power through them. Everybody will get a fair look, but we may not call you 3 times because we're up against the gun. You know, if you apply now and we have questions, we have an opportunity to reach out to you and have a nice long conversation about what it is you do and how we can support you and advocate for you.
Yeah, so that's you're giving people a heads up today. Hey, apply now. We'll spend more time on you. Yeah. Is there a cap on size of the applying business?
No.
No. It just you just have to meet the qualification of being diverse, basically.
And have the capacity to do what it is you say you can do.
Right, which is why you're asking for the references. You want to know that people have a track record you can trust.
Correct.
Let's see. So I have other questions here. Let me look at. Oh my goodness. Okay, now there's 37 in the Q&A. This is specifically to professional service consulting. This question is coming from Jessica. She says, my company is a professional service consulting firm. We conduct public policy research. We create diversity and inclusion programs, develop community engagement programs, measure the impact of programs, create CSR initiatives. Is there a place for us? The only category that you listed that is remotely connected is communications and event planning. But is there an adjacent category? In other words, do you want to study do you want to analyze the impact of your program?
You're right.
I think it's what she's asking. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's not an NFL request. The NFL has their own team of corporate social responsibility team. And so I know that that's not a request that has come up for the Super Bowl in previous years, and we don't foresee it being a need, you know, here in Los Angeles. I know we also have an internal staff of community engagement professionals. So what we can do is keep your information on file in case a need does arise, but I can tell you that it's not within those 30 disciplines that the NFL normally requests.
And then Max, who works for the Center for Employment Opportunities, wants to know, will you consider vendor preference for LA County certified social enterprises, similar to SMWBE status? You familiar with that?
No, if we
Look
could,
at that.
yeah, I was going to say if he wants to email me and we could talk offline about it. I don't want to say that there's a preference for any specific certification, because we accept all businesses that are, again, minority owned, woman owned, LGBTQ plus, or veteran owned, and that meets the capacity, that has the products and services that we're looking for. We take all of that into consideration. So it doesn't matter that you may have multiple certifications. With the certification agency that you received it from, we don't give preference to anyone. We just want to make sure that you are indeed local, that you are certified, and that you can meet the requirements of the NFL vendors.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna give you that to follow up with. But the County of LA engaged in a major program 3 years ago, and they did create a lot of new, smaller enterprises to capture maybe people new. Your $1,500 example, BJ is a good example of a florist. I have a feeling this is the smaller enterprises. This is newer, smaller, often women-owned businesses that the county created to encourage that group.
We encourage you to apply. Submit your application. Let us know. Let us know about you. That way we can go ahead and vet you. But we don't get to know you if you don't apply for the program.
Okay, so that's yes, Max. Please contact Chinzy directly. So can you expand on the graphics classification? What does that include?
The geography?
Graphics.
Oh, graphics. I'm sorry.
Graphics.
Yeah, there is a need for certain kinds of things. We've got one of our vendors every year creates a map of their event, because it is so massive and so many people go that when you come, you need a map so that you can figure out, oh, where do I go to see the Lombardi Trophy, or where do I go for player appearances? So that map needs to be done. Sometimes they give us camera ready art, sometimes they don't. So we need graphics companies that can help with those kinds of things. We also have requests for maybe just a basic hang tag credential that somebody needs for an event that doesn't need to be security coded. So it's your regular graphics work. But additionally, we'll also be looking for a graphics/printing group that can provide a workforce, go work in the stadium with equipment and just print directional signage and then go hang it. So there, in every one of the categories, there are very unique opportunities. So, if you have an interest, if you fit the criteria, it is in your best interest to go ahead and apply, because what we're going to do is, if we see you and we say, we're not sure how that fits, we're going to pick up the phone and call you. We're going to talk to you about the kind of work that's available. And are you comfortable bidding on something like that? Or did you ever think about maybe reclassifying yourself in another area because we know that there's work there? So I'm telling you, Chinzy's your girl.
Okay, speaking of that, Chinzy, janitorial custodial services.
I would apply. Yeah, that's definitely a need. So I would apply under waste removal or PPE, either one.
Waste removal or PPE. Apply. Okay. It said, is there any way to receive a list of existing primes that may need additional services that are not listed on the business disciplines?
We don't give out the names of the primes, because if we did, as you might understand, they would be inundated with solicitations, and they don't just work for Super Bowl. These folks also work for the Olympics. They also work for, Lollapalooza. They have all these other clients that they work for. And they rely on us to identify and vet the most event-ready businesses in the marketplace so that they don't get inundated.
Perfect. I'm going to answer this. It's asking, can we get a copy of this presentation, and can we post this presentation? Chincy, you'll post on sports and entertainment, right? We'll post
Yes,
on go ahead.
Yes, so we are recording this presentation, so we will upload the video on our website. We will also send the Business Connect playbook, which has all the information and key dates that you need. So it's pretty much a roadmap to the application process.
Perfect. And I'll ask Rachel also to post to chat that for our members on our website. So it's all there. And we'll reblast both those, Chincy, to our broader list.
Perfect. I think BJ had something she wanted to add.
Oh,
BJ?
I was just going to ask you, Chincy, does the playbook include the frequently asked questions? Because that might be helpful to suppliers.
Well, you would have to go to our website for that. So if you go to our website and click on the Business Connect tab, if you scroll down, there's also an FAQ section. So it lists, I think, 17 different questions that are asked in different markets that will likely come up here in Los Angeles. So you could take a look at that as well.
Okay, Chincy, this is an important question. Are you accepting 250 businesses in general or per discipline?
In general, 250 businesses total. Total.
Yeah, I thought. Are professional services and consulting needed?
It's not necessarily, it's not one of those common requests. I would only say the only professional service would be event planning and production. That too is very competitive, being that Los Angeles has so many qualified businesses in that category. But as far as
and each of our NFL vendors have their own staffs that do a lot of that event production. I understand that suppliers may think, well, golly, we're part of event production. Why can't we get in this program? We don't want to bring anybody into the Business Connect program that we don't have a real shot of getting you some work. It's just not fair to you, and it's not fair to the other people who we could bring into the list, who we could find a job for or find work for.
That's a really good point. And the follow-up, and maybe our last question, BJ, is what you had shared with us offline, which is if you're a company and you need a certification that you don't have and you're eligible, will you help with that?
Yes, we are working with several of the certifying agencies in Los Angeles through relationships that Chincy has made and will manage throughout this process. And if you are not certified, but you meet every other one of our criteria, we will work with you to get you certified. And as long as you are in the certification process, when we build our resource guide and we know that someone is helping you get certified, then you're fine. And understand that we're only interested in connecting people with certifications that are free. It costs nothing to be a part of the Business Connect program. It will cost you nothing to get certified.
Thank you for making both those points, because that's not normally true, either of those things. So this is free. This is a free program. This is a free, okay. So the key is apply, talk to Chincy, become part of this exciting program that'll make a difference for you. Because
there is one question in here that I want to address, Mary. This one came from Victor Parker with the Small Business Administration.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He asked if a business is SBA 8A certified, do they meet the certification requirement? So as long as, again, being a SBE, being a small business is not necessarily qualify you for the program, but being a 51% owned minority, woman, veteran, or LGBTQ plus does. So you have that SBA, and you meet the other requirements, submit your application. On the proof of certification, just click other and then put Small Business Administration. And then we could do what we need to do on the back end to verify that you are indeed, that you do meet the other other requirements and eligibility criteria. So
Yeah,
I
so
would go
that-
ahead and apply if you have that certification, if you meet all the other requirements of the program.
So that's a really important point, Jinsey. It's not about your size. It's about your status as a
Absolutely.
diverse company. Yeah.
It's about your experience. You know, do you have
Yeah.
experience related to events? Do you have experience related to sports? You know, from there we can work with you.
Okay, well then I think we should thank you for your time and for bringing this exciting program to, well, for choosing, the LA region to have the 2022 thank you Super Bowl, which I think was one of the most exciting things that LA we got to learn about last year, and the fact that you're bringing a real important economic program into LA that will have a lasting legacy, and for that we really thank you. And Jinsey, it's exciting to have you here, and we're very excited to work with you. And BJ, it's a pleasure to meet you today. And David, though I don't know where David went, but I'm sure he's there in spirit. So it sounds like, what we really should say now is that people need to apply, and you have till February 1. So, apply and call Jinsey. That's our would you like to have a last word, BJ, or Jinsey?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have questions, please email me. Know that it's, I have a list of emails. So if you don't get it right away, just know that I'm working on it. I will respond. I see a question here about the Business Connect playbook. We will email that to you after this event so that you will have it. But again, just go to our website. It has all the general information. It has the FAQ section. Get familiar with the website before you go ahead and apply. That way you have a good sense of what you're getting into, right?
All right. So have a happy holiday and be safe. And we're really looking forward to 2021 working with you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And